here on KPFT.
Houston's community station for over 50 years. This is KPFT.
At KPFT, volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization. Here's what they say about us.
When I volunteer at KPFT, sometimes I call out past people that support us with money. I got a guy who said KPFT was his life and soul. He was blind. He said he also spent 20 years in prison, but KPFT was his life and soul listening to the station.
Volunteer with us at KPFT. Call 713-526-4000, extension 3. We're waiting for your call.
This is Hank Rubicek, producer of So What's Your Story on KPFT Houston, 90.1 on the dial, Houston's community station.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you. Visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well. I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. To men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night. The inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's Prison Radio. Prison Radio.
And welcome to the Prison Show. It is Friday, March the 29th, the last Friday in March. So next week is April. Yep, April Fool's Day is Monday. Can't wait for that. Should be entertaining at work. Anyway, so it's been an interesting week. And of course, happy Good Friday to everyone out there. Anyone who celebrates it, happy Good Friday. So we had some information come down the pipeline about tablets. Currently, the Holiday Unit is doing a pilot program, a Scan the Tablet pilot program. So they're scanning everyone's tablets. Yep, turning them in, scanning them. Yep, checking to make sure it's your
Jiggers. Y'all know what jiggers is? Jiggers is what you say when you're looking in the mirror for the boss man come down the room. Jiggers.
Yeah, so make sure the tablet that you have is your tablet. So, and make sure if you were assigned a tablet, you got a tablet. So they're going to be, from what we understand, you're going to have to turn the tablet in. They're going to do their thing, and then you get them back. Now, whether or not, and I don't think they're going to wipe out information. They're not going to do anything like that. Unless, of course, you don't have your tablet. Then maybe. But don't know how long it's going to last. I would suspect it won't be too long because your mail comes on your tablet and you're supposed to have access to your mail. So, let's see. Of course, sometimes TDC doesn't care about what you're supposed to have. Don't care about policy. Don't care about a lot of stuff. But, it is what it is. And so be expecting it. Not sure on the dates. Have no clue what unit is going to be, coming up next. Not sure. No one knows. Or if they do know, they ain't saying. Ain't coughing up the information. So, anyway, tonight, David has lined up a great show. Great show. Mimi Rodriguez, the criminal justice organizer with Grassroots Leadership, and Taj, Texas Advocates for Justice. And, of course, Brittany Robertson. She's the director of Incarcerated Support Ad-Seg specialist with TPCA and Texas Prison Reform activist. So get ready. She's got some information on those SPDs. So get your pen. Of course, you should have your pen and pencil ready. David's laughing at me.
I've never had those.
Really?
Oh, you didn't say STDs?
No, I didn't. I was about to say, your halo is shining.
I thought you were talking about STDs. No. You got to put a wrapper on that thing.
Yeah, no. For the longest time, when people were referring, telling me about that, I was like, what? What? Do you what?
STI, STD, they're similar, right?
Similar, yeah. Well, yeah. All right. We also have Charlie Harrison. He is in the studio. He's a musician, friend of the prison show. He is here in the studio. He's been practicing. We've been enjoying it. Yeah, we have. And we also have Abe Bonowitz, the co-director and founder at Death Penalty Action, deathpenaltyaction.org, in case you have your pen and paper already ready. He's going to be on the show tonight also. So, everyone ready? I think everyone's ready. Let's go to Mimi Rodriguez on line 1. Hi, Mimi.
Hi, how's it going, y'all?
Doing wonderful. Happy Friday. So what you got for us tonight?
I just want to talk a little bit. Just going to talk about the organization, Grassroots Leadership, our program, Taj, just so people know who we are and what we do. And then I'll talk about what we got going on at Taj, and then just give the information about how to get in contact with us.
Awesome.
So just so everybody knows, Grassroots Leadership, we are a nonprofit organization. Our mission is to end mass incarceration, deportations, and criminalizations in our communities. And so Texas Advocates for Justice, as y'all know, Taj is a program under Grassroots Leadership. And so that program is made up of people who are directly impacted by the criminal legal system, whether it is directly or indirectly impacted. So I myself have a family member who has been incarcerated in TDC for over 15 years. He's been denied parole twice, and then he will be reviewed again next year. So we're hoping to put together a really good parole pack for him. And hoping to bring him home soon. I also am a survivor of domestic violence, and so I also come from the lived experience of I haven't been incarcerated, but I come from sort of the other side of that, having reached out to this system that is funded by public safety dollars and never found safety in this system. In fact, what I experienced was more trauma in the process of, reporting, prosecution, just trying to gain support from, trying to find safety, like I said. So what I found, safety was when I became a member of Texas Advocates for Justice in 2020. I became, I met, Miss Diana Williams, who is now the deputy director at Grassroots Leadership. She was the original Podge member that y'all know pretty well. And so I, just was active member of that organization for a couple of years. And then I was brought on as a staff member. And so now I started off in participatory defense, which is a program in which it's a community organizing model where what we do is essentially just walk alongside anybody that has an active criminal case. Usually it's centered here in Harris County, but we also have worked with folks outside of Harris County. We have an Austin chapter, so we work, our Austin organizers work with folks in Travis County and surrounding counties. And then, like I said, it's usually majority of the folks that we've worked with and supported are pretrial. So what we do is accompany folks to court just so that folks know that they don't have to, they have support. They're not alone. We hold weekly family support meetings, and so folks are invited into our space. Again, it's a space of support where folks can just come in and, talk about what's going on with their case, very in a confidential manner so that nobody is, that we can't guarantee safety, but what we try to do is just make sure that everyone is protected and that there's no breach of confidentiality or anything like that, right? So we ask questions like, do you know who your attorney is? If they don't know, we try to help them access that information through the Harris County District Clerk's website so we can show folks how they can set up an account and look up that information themselves, or we walk them through where we, kind of access that information. So our main goal is really just to connect folks with information that usually the attorney is supposed to provide, but a lot of times what we find is that because the attorney's caseloads are just so, they're so overloaded that they don't really have a lot of time to really work with folks on a one-on-one basis outside of the courtrooms. They're usually limited to a few minutes with the attorney when they have court, and it's usually just a set-off or something like that. They don't get a lot of information. So we try to just connect them to the information that they need so that they can, have some sort of say in the case, that they're not just kind of railroaded by the system. So that's participatory defense, just essentially so that, folks feel empowered to speak up so that they can, have a say. And then, so we have a campaign going on, which is called Care Not Cages right now. And so we're focusing essentially on advocating for policies where we try to reduce the jail population and the jail overcrowding. And so keeping folks from getting, sentences. We have our goal is what's called time saved, which is a play on time served. So let's say if someone is facing a 20-year sentence, if we can get like a 2-year probation or even like a deferred or, something like that, but we try to save folks time from incarceration. That is our ultimate goal of participatory defense. And so with the campaign, with Care Not Cages, we really try to focus on the aspect of addressing, the root causes of problems, because we operate from the belief that instead of putting people in cages, people really what they need is addressing with care, right? Instead of holding people in contempt, we really try to, address what are their needs, what are the unmet needs, things like mental health, treatment, things like housing, just getting people the support that they really need rather than just kind of cycling them in and out of these, systems. And so we try to really just focus on reducing harm and things like that. And so we know that in Harris County Jail, there's been just a lot of really harmful things that have been going on. And so that's, again, why we feel it was important to have this Care Not Cages campaign, because we really value, the lives of everyone. People who are incarcerated, lives matter, right? They are valuable people. They are loved ones. And so we would just, that's where we operate from, because that's who we are, right? We are people who are either formerly incarcerated, or we have loved ones who are currently or formerly incarcerated. And so that's the space that we operate, and we try to welcome everybody into the community that we work with. And so we invite folks into our space, into our general body meetings. If they have loved ones who are impacted, or they themselves are impacted and would like to be part of a community of support.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've got to close. Can you give us an address where people can contact you?
Absolutely. So our P.O. Box is 88235, and that is Houston, Texas, 77288. And so that is where people can reach out to us, the Texas Advocates for Justice, like I said, anybody who is impacted by the criminal legal system.
Okay, repeat that one more time. P.O. Box
88235, Houston, Texas, 77288.
All right. Thank you so much for being on tonight, and we look forward to having you on in a few weeks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye-bye. All right. Now we're going to go over to one of my favorite people, Brittany. Hey, Brittany.
Hey. It is good to be here again.
Good to have you, of course. Yeah. I thought of you tonight in regards to the what you've been talking about in the group.
Yeah, so I was reached out to by a law firm, and they're, every once in a while they'll reach out and ask, do you have a list of individuals that fit this criteria or this criteria if they're looking for cases? And one of the ones they recently reached out to me about was the SPD. So the SPD stands for Security Precaution Designator. And that gets placed on individuals. For instance, an escape is an ES, Security Precaution Designator. Same thing with staff assault, and so on and so forth. And they're looking for individuals who have had those codes that are housed in solitary and have had them for over 10 years.
Now, is it only those codes, or?
So any SPD code.
Okay.
But, what they have right now is generally G4 and G5 individuals, but they're looking to end, to assist those in solitary as well. And, our thinking with Texas prison reform is if we can get anybody out of solitary, if there's anybody, whether it's, security threat group or the SPD codes or, the Supermax, right down to, any other arbitrary reasons for people to be in solitary or to be in there for an extended period of time, we're willing to help get them out. So what I'm hoping to do is to compile a list. Right now I've only got 5 individuals on it, but a list of individuals who have their SPD codes for 10 years or longer that is housed in solitary, and I just need them to send me an email. So I can be sure to give you guys the email address before we get done. But my hope is the lower we can get the numbers, the better. And that's a good place to start. Yeah. Is, the policies that aren't being followed, let's look at them and find out why they're failing. So, whether it gets 1 out, whether it gets 50 out, whether it gets them all out that have been over that time limit, anything that we can do to help lower them, we're going to get involved in, for sure.
So the policy states that they have to be reviewed every year, correct? Or am I wrong?
So, yeah, so the policy, it's a little bit, it doesn't, I wouldn't say contradicts, but the policy for anybody who wants to request it on the inside, and I got it pulled up right here, it's Administrative Directive 4.11, Security Precaution Designators, and it goes through all the stipulations you need, but you know, they have their periodic reviews that they do, and then they're also supposed to be reviewed for, you know, possible removal of the SPD code. And what I've noticed in the individuals that I've worked with is, you know, these codes are just kind of left, and I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the rubber stamp that, you know, we've all seen before of, well, yep, nope, still dangerous. Well, you know, if someone's in solitary, you're not going to give them an opportunity to prove otherwise. For, you know, the wrong people in the wrong positions, they can sit there. And I'm finding that's a lot of what's been happening.
Absolutely. And if they have no one on the outside advocating for them, you know, that key's just thrown away.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it is. And you know, there's some, one of the individuals, he's had it for 14 years. And, you know, to think that that may be the one thing that's holding him from a contact visit from his family is because somebody's neglected for the last 4 years to do an actual review. That blows my mind that we could be failing them like that.
Yeah, it's... one of my friends had had several for 23 years. And it took, because he had no one advocating for him. So it takes people on the outside advocating. And that is what you are doing, Brittany, which I think is incredible. It's hard to get a list of a lot of those men and women who have no idea who to contact. So
right.
I'm very, and I know several units are notorious for this. Estelle is notorious for it, at least what I found. Shout out to my favorite warden over there. he just loves me. And I know McConnell's also another one that's really famous for that. So what is your email address?
So the email address is Ad-Seg, but I'm going to spell it out. ENDADSEGTX@gmail.com. And I'll go over it one more time. It's ENDADSEGTX@gmail.com. And all I need is the name, the number of the individual, the code that they have, and how long they've had it. And that'll get us started, and they'll be reached out to from there.
So anyone who's listening, let your family, friends know, and give them that email address. Or you can definitely let Linda, David, or I know we'll get it over to Brittany. We're going to do whatever we can to get that information, because it's not often that a attorney wants to help. It's very rare.
Right. Exactly. And, you know, even the advocacy organizations, even if they can't write back to every letter, having that information in a file for when these opportunities arise is huge. So, you know, people who don't know that they've been heard, just know I got your paperwork and I'm watching for opportunities.
Yeah, and if anyone can get your story out there, it's Brittany. She's done an amazing, you really have. You've taken you've organized things. It's incredible, and I'm tooting your horn, girl, because man,
thank you so much.
It's really hard, and you know, we're all on that group together, and you know, getting that information. If you know someone on the group, get that information to them as soon as possible. Or if you know someone that we need to contact to get that information, let us know. Let us know.
Yes. The sooner the better. They didn't give me a cutoff date, but yeah, the sooner the better. The longer the list, the better. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Brittany. And can you give us your snail mail address?
Yeah, it's Texas Prison Reform at P.O. Box 671, Kaukauna. That's spelled Kaukauna, Wisconsin 54130.
All right. We appreciate you, Brittany, and we look forward to having you on again soon.
All right. Thank you guys so much. You have a good night.
Have a great weekend, too. All right. I think David probably wants to introduce.
I don't know. You do a pretty good job, but I'll take a good shot at it. It's a hard act to follow, I'll tell you that. You do a good job, Dani.
Well, thank you.
Tonight in the studio, I have a really good friend of mine, and a lot of you guys probably remember him, but you get to listen to him every week, whether you want to or not, because Charlie wrote our opening song. We've had good comments about that song. We've had some bad comments about that song. Some people really miss Bobby Bear. Other people think it's a pole dancing song. So I got a kick out of that one.
Yeah.
So, but we have Charlie Harrison in the studio tonight. Charlie from Charlie and the Regrets. And, man, we really love you, Charlie, and we was hoping that you could play some music for us. I mean, I know we're not a musical station, but I mean, under the right circumstances, we definitely are a musical station. So,
all right. Well, I would love to, and my apologies to the other Bobby Bear fans out there. That's
yeah, but some of them love the pole dancing. Come on, Linda, let's get it. Let's get it.
Well, Dave, what would you like me to play?
Well, you've got several different versions of the Prison Show song, don't you?
Well, yeah. Well, there's
Which song? Which version do you like the best? The one that you recorded, or do you like the older one?
I like the kind of the pole dancing one.
Yeah.
I cut loose on it.
Well, come on then.
All right, I'll play. Let's see. So, well, here I'll do kind of like a hybrid of like the old. Daddy, I'm coming to see you. You're visiting hours next week. Well, Mama, she ain't been doing too well, but I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy, he's loving high school. Out blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. It's Friday night. The inmates all go quiet, listen for a voice they know. It's a prison radio show. The prison radio show. From Paris to Polanski, the Bonjour me more. In my dreams I see your freedom, and I'll hold you once more. To the man with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone as things might look, and it's Friday night. The inmates all go quiet, listen for a voice they know. Prison Radio Show. All the lifers and the men sitting on the road, try to keep your heads up, 'cause you're not beat if you got hope. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet, listen for a voice they know. It's a prison radio show. The Prison Radio Show. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
I was trying to remember the old version there.
Yeah, the old version, that's kind of mixed. The old version was country.
Yeah.
Remember, I videoed you at the Firehouse Saloon doing the old version.
Yeah.
I
You
show
have to
that one
it
every
to-
now and then.
to
Yeah,
remind it-
I
remind
put
me.
it. I think it's on our YouTube channel. I put it out there every now and then. So what are you doing? Are you going down to Galveston and playing, or are you playing any other places?
Well, I'm playing next Friday in Houston, Rustic Post Oak.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been playing, been writing, been doing some production stuff with other folks, doing a lot of writing and that type of thing.
How's your album doing?
Well, we just put out a new single last week, which is straight up the charts to number 999,000. You know, I think I have realized that I just love to play and write music, and so I'm going to do that no matter what. And I kind of, in a way, that's good because I just do it, and sometimes people listen, sometimes people don't, and you know.
So you play every weekend?
Yeah, I play just about every weekend. Slow down just a little bit, but I've been riding a bunch and sometimes actually playing with other folks as well. But yeah, most weekends you find me or me and the band somewhere around Houston. So Charlie and the Regrets.
Yeah, Dani and I need to get out of the house more and come see you.
You do.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's on Friday night, and so you know where I am on Friday night.
Yeah, that's the hard one. Yeah.
So, but whenever we were dating, though, we came see you at the House of Blues, which is really cool. I was talking about that earlier. That was a good night.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. That's right. Yeah.
So, do you play the prison show
We
song?
do. But we play it like the new way.
The pole dancing.
We play the pole dance.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get some dancers with us. We don't.
Yeah, that's what
have,
you need. You
a
need
lot of
some pole dancers there with you.
I think we would be much more popular if we had that.
Depending on the night, Linda and I are always available.
Well, you know, anytime. No, I'm very. The nice thing about the pole dancing version, the guys I play with are fantastic musicians, and so they kind of can cut loose and really, you know, go on. It's more of a rock and roll feel as opposed to the old like country or folk.
Yeah, I'll
feel.
share the video that I play with you guys because I filmed it right there at
Firehouse. R.I.P.
Well, no, that was the old version. What was the new one where you they had the Ferris wheel and all that stuff?
Oh, I know. I know what you're talking about. The truck yard.
Yeah, the truck yard. Because it looked like a bunch of roach coaches. That's what it looked like, right?
Yeah.
They're all food trucks.
Yeah.
What about When the Gavel Came Down?
Sure. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess, but just a little weed. I'm not saying I didn't break the law. For one little misstep, I took an awful big fall. If I'd have been a rich man, like old Ken Lay, I might have died on vacation and never served a day. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Well, now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, just a little weed. They got my cousin, and he was facing some time. He put on a wire, traded his troubles for mine. I should have been suspicious when he had cash to pay, but now my cousin's on probation. I got 700 days. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Well, now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess, but just a little weed. I'm in some awful big trouble, but just a little weed.
You know, weed's what got me started with the law problems. I got picked up one time, had 2 joints in a Marlboro box, and they thought that was the end of the world, boy. I got 2 different possession charges for that little old thing.
Where was that?
Jersey Village.
Jersey Village?
I was in Jersey Village, man.
Man.
They were ready to hang me high, man.
Oh, well, I was going to say, it seems like it's getting better some places, but...
Well, my daughter moved all the way to Oregon because, hell, they got dispensaries out there.
Yeah.
She can stop and buy her flowers anytime she wants. But, and speaking of my oldest daughter, her mama lived in Baytown.
All right.
And so we used to run them streets up and down Baytown. That's why whenever I hear your song, it brings back memories.
You know, if I get hit by a car on the way home tonight, this is what I think I'll be remembered
for Baytown.
I'm busting out of Houston, it's the hipsters and the hicks. I ain't cool enough for Walters, I ain't rich enough for Ricks. I tried to talk me up some ladies, they asked me what a drive. Well, the writers of the presses, they don't know that I'm alive. But there's one place I know where I can go and get a little high. Even when my dough is low, I'm going to Baytown. Baytown. I know an old girl at the pool hall off the tracks. She's got worse rigs, we got 2 days till he gets back. She's got a second cousin with a chemistry lab, and nobody around here asks me about my time in rehab. Got 48 hours, I won't close an eye. I'll have the time of my life if I manage not to die down in Baytown. Baytown. Cross the bridge, over the water, leave my worries behind. I'm gonna do some things I ain't oughta. Sometimes to stay sane, you gotta lose your mind. Baytown. Baytown. It's 11 Monday morning, my brain is running out my ears. I think that I'll survive, but I probably lost a couple years. There's a banging on my door, the sheriff wants to talk. He got me on camera, stealing Sudafed and ball. He said, I know you're from the city, so let me be clear. This Baytown, we don't take that around. Yeah, down Baytown.
I didn't have to hit the button.
Baytown.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And right on time, too. We got like 20 seconds left. Woohoo! So you going to stick around and play a break song or maybe a going out song?
Yeah.
You don't have to go nowhere?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, Dave.
No, man, you made our night. And Dee Dee's listening. I hope I didn't talk about my other baby mama too much. Yeah, she's not with us anymore, so Baytown got to her too much.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Now we're going to go on over to Abe.
Well, hey, everybody. Happy, I don't know, is it Happy Good Friday or Good Friday greetings? Whatever it is, I wish you all the best on the holiday.
It all works.
Glad to
All
be
works.
with you. We had a really amazing program today on we did a live stream on our Facebook and YouTube and X. And I would encourage people, if you need a Good Friday program, go listen to what we did today at the Death Penalty Action. You find it on all of our Death Penalty Action social media stuff. But we had some really good remarks about the fact that this is the date that we mark the most famous execution in history for some people, the execution of Jesus Christ. And we could talk about that for well over an hour, but we had some really good experts talking about it today on our program. So if you have access, check that out. And I do want to say, Charlie, I love the music, and we had some good music from a new artist to our movement today. Also, a guy named Brittany Buchanan, who was the runner-up on the Voice. Season 14, and he came and sang beautifully 2 songs he's written very recently, just in the wake of the Ivan Cantu execution, and then took us out with a beautiful rendition of "Were You There When They Crucified Our Lord?" So you could check that out. Good news. And there's good news and there's bad news. I guess I want to start first, of course, with a shout out to everybody in prison, and especially those of you on death row, including Melissa Lucio. Thank you for the Easter greetings that you sent today. And of course, Ramiro Gonzalez is there on death watch, and we're all thinking about praying for him. So shout out there, and to everybody else there up there at Polensky and in Livingston. And we don't have another execution scheduled in Texas until June. So that's a good way to start off our good news section here. Other good news in Delaware last week, the bills to prohibit the death penalty in the state constitution and to take the death penalty out of the Delaware Code, which was thrown out by the Delaware Supreme Court, I think, in 2016. But now they're working to just seal the deal. Well, those bills passed out of committee, which is exciting, and now we're going to wait and see what happens to them when they get to the floor. But we're feeling good about it, and our vote count looks good. So just keep everybody there in your prayers. Another bit of Texas good news, Randall Mays has been ruled intellectually disabled and therefore removed from death row. So there's some good news for somebody there in Texas. Similarly, in Oklahoma, we have a guy named James Ryder, who's one of the 25 people that had execution dates set a year and a half ago. He, too, has been prohibited from being executed because of his mental illness. And so the courts are actually sometimes getting it right at a place where the state isn't going to appeal it, because it's not like an imminent execution. It's just trying to get it done. Moving on over to California, where prisoners from death row, California has the largest death row in the country, over 600 people, and they're trying something new, and they're actually distributing the prisoners on death row to general population in prisons throughout the state, if you can believe that. That's the shift that's happening in California, especially for those who are able to manage life and don't need super segregation. That's going to change their quality of life, and we're going to continue on a process towards having them not be on death row at all. And we're going to be hearing about a campaign to do that in the final year of Governor Newsom's term, to figure out how to get all those death sentences commuted. You might remember Governor Newsom, when he took office, one of the first things he did was dismantle the execution chamber there in California. It was an amazing round of leadership, and we got to be grateful for that. Let's see here. Internationally, there's some bad news. A lot of executions happening in other countries, including Iran. But here's something, another bit of good news from the UK, actually, where the United States is trying to extradite Julian Assange, who you might remember was responsible for a massive data leak that exposed some malfeasance by the U.S. military in the Middle East, and they've been trying to get him back here for to stand trial for under the Espionage Act, which of course is punishable by death. Well, the UK the court has ruled that the United States, if they want him to be extradited, must promise that he will not face the death penalty. So sounds like they're going to get him back and send him off to death by incarceration, but no execution. So we'll see where that goes. Moving on. Any questions on any of that so far?
Not yet. I'm keeping notes.
Okay, good. Okay, I want to make sure I don't lose you like I did last time. So let's see. Here in Alabama, I want to note that Johnson is, the state's trying to seek an execution date for this guy. He's on death row on the word of a witness. Now it turns out was secretly paid. So it's just one witness paid by the state to testify, and that alone should be unconstitutional. Well, the good news for Boris Johnson is that the Innocence Project has picked up his case. So we're going to see what's happening with that. The state is trying to set 2 new dates, including for Alan Miller. He is the other person besides Kenny Smith, who in 2022 was sent back to their cell after the state failed to get an IV line going, poking and prodding him for hours on the gurney. But they're still trying to get a date set for Alan Miller. That, of course, would probably be with gas suffocation. But they have said, was just announced yesterday, a date for Jamie Mills for May 30th. And, so that execution is likely to go forward. We're going to see what happens with that, but that's new. Also, in upcoming executions next week, Michael Smith in Oklahoma. Now, this is kind of not what I usually talk about, but I want to say this is because it's outrageous. But Michael Smith, his attorney, after his clemency was denied, basically said, "I'm done, goodbye," and walked away from him. And he wanted to have another attorney. We found a volunteer pro bono attorney to represent him. For some reason, the Capitol Habeas Unit attorney in Oklahoma, Emma Rolls, keeps challenging any prisoner that wants to have another attorney represent them. And I think it's all about the money. It's crazy. But you would think that a guy without an attorney, find somebody else to volunteer to help him, should be able to determine they're going to have their own attorney, and that should not be challenged in court. Why shouldn't somebody have an attorney? We're going to be hearing more about this. It's crazy that they're doing that in Oklahoma. But it looks like Michael Smith's going to be killed on Thursday. So we'll be doing a petition delivery there, and we're looking for folks to come and be part of the protest outside the prison there in McAlester, Oklahoma. You can hear us up in Dallas. It's not that far from Dallas. So that's that. The moratorium legislation was essentially killed, so that's not happening. Other interesting news, the Attorney General in Oklahoma said, let's stretch out the space again between executions. When they set 25 executions to go in 2 years, that's basically one every month. Well, last year, after the execution of Scott Eisenberg in January last year, they said it's too much and we got to spread it out to one every 60 days. Well, this January, after the most recent execution, they said, let's stretch it out to 90 days. And the interesting thing is, just the other day on Tuesday, the judge held a hearing, I think it was Tuesday, in which he basically said, you guys are going to have to suck it up, do your job, and we're not going to spread it out. It doesn't sound like he's going to order what the AG is asking for there, to spread out the execution date. So that's going to keep things moving. We'll see where it all goes. So that's Oklahoma, and there's probably a lot more we could talk about that disaster over there, but we'll just move on. At this point, in Missouri, also coming up in the next week or so, April 9th, Brian Dorsey been, and he, again, is another person that should not be on death row. This is a guy who serves as the barber for the prison. Okay, he's got multiple corrections officers testifying and asking that he not be executed. This guy serves as the barber in the prison. He cuts the hair of corrections workers. They trust him that much. He's on death row. We don't need to kill him, and yet he is likely to be the next person executed in Missouri, and that's the other execution. The only two currently scheduled in April, so hopefully no more will be added. Let's shift over to Louisiana. That's shaping up to be a nightmare. Among many things that are going on, the legislation that they just passed during a special session to make things much worse there in Louisiana, that takes effect July 1st, and we can anticipate multiple execution dates being set in Louisiana for the first time in over a decade. One of the other things that they've just done is they're trying to institutionalize political interference. Right? Basically, the governor has shifted the responsibility for indigent defense, not just death penalty, but for everybody that needs indigent defense services, shifting responsibility for that from an 11-member oversight committee to a single appointee by the governor. They just want to streamline. How do we make it much, much worse? And that's what's happened in Louisiana. And we're going to be hearing a lot more about Louisiana. Finally, I want to mention that, across the board, everywhere, states are trying to make it harder, create secrecy laws, make it harder for the public to understand what's happening with executions. In Georgia, they made it so that the media witnesses, nobody else couldn't see much of what was happening in the death chamber, couldn't be able to track the time that it was taken when they executed Willie Pye last week. But there's secrecy stuff happening there, secrecy stuff happening. So that's Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma has another secrecy bill happening right now. But in Idaho, a federal judge basically rejected Idaho's secrecy defense to death row prisoner Gerald Pizzuto's request for discovery related to the lethal injection drugs. So that's a little bit of a breath of fresh air in Idaho, where they tried to execute somebody last month, and of course they failed to get that IV started, and it's unclear what's going to happen there in terms of next steps. You would think, they've got to put together a firing squad. You would think they'd just stick up a pole in the backyard and get on with it, but nope. Instead, they're going to need to spend probably, a couple $1 million building a facility that they'll use maybe twice or three times. It's going to be crazy out there. But those are the things that are happening. Coming up, I want to just make sure people know that, really follow us at Death Penalty Action on the Facebook and Twitter, and get on our email list, and go to deathpenaltyaction.org to sign the petitions so we can keep you up to date with what's happening in each of these cases as they come along. We are looking forward to a bit of a slowdown in the number of executions in the coming months. First, you have to get past the one on the 4th and the one on the 9th, but then there'll be a slowdown until May 30th, and just a couple set in June, and we'll see where it all goes. So with that, I'll see you again if there's any questions.
Can you give your address?
Oh, of course. So reach us at Death Penalty Action, P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York. That's P.O. Box 89, Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York 12075. And I'll just note on my way out that, again, thank you, Charlie, for the great music. We'll look forward to hearing what else you're playing tonight. And as always, thanks for having me on. And I'll just invite people to mark your calendars for June 28th to July 3rd for the annual fast and vigil to abolish the death penalty on the sidewalk in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll talk about that a bit more next time, but that's going to be a big deal this year again. So we're inviting people to come and join us in protest at the Supreme Court. And finally, also, you'll be hearing a lot more soon about the federal death penalty as we ramp up into the presidential race and how the death penalty is going to be impacting that. So there we are. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too, and happy Easter.
Same to you. Okay.
You got enough time to do your plug for the Rustic one more time?
All right, yeah, come see me at the Rustic Post Oak next Friday at 9:30. Listen to the prison show on the way. And
There you go. Maybe you'll sing prison radio if they go visit you.
We will.
So you got a song picked out, or you want me to pick one out?
I got one.
Okay.
Well, I picked them up right off the shelf. Like the lights couldn't afford nothing else. I was just thinking to myself, man, that was 15 years ago. Back before my kids, before my wife, I was living in Austin, in bars every night, trying to make moves, I couldn't get them right. Always stepping on toes, me and these boots. We walked 1,000 miles together. Got stories in the lines, the leather, holes in our souls from walking away. Dance hall floors and jail cells, city sidewalks, hayfields. Got a little ragged along the way. Nothing fits like the truth. That's why I'm sticking to me and these boots. Can't count all the stages we crossed, the nights we won or the days that we lost. From Cain and Abel's all the way to Greenhall. Been soaked in beer, spattered in blood, slept in the back seat and rode the bus. Step into the spotlight, try to stand tall. Me and these boots, we walked 1,000 miles together. Got stories, the lines, the leather, holes in our souls from walking away. Dance hall floors and jail cells, city sidewalks, hayfields. Got a little ragged along the way. Nothing fits like the truth. That's why I'm sticking to me and these boots. Something like that.
Something like that?
Something like that.
No, you did good. We still got like a minute and a half, though.
A minute and a half?
Yeah.
A minute and a half song? All right. Hold on. I've seen the moon holds every story that anyone ever might tell. Starts where it ends. Your lovers and friends, and pages where you choose to dwell. Freely from time, I will return. Scenes of the crime, lessons to learn. I've held the hand Is that a minute and 20? I don't know.
Yeah, it's close enough.
All right.
Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate it. You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
All right, now it's time for the shout-outs. Miss Lydia on line 1, you've been waiting for a minute.
Well, yes, I didn't know it would be the first one, though. I thought there was others in front of me. But
no, congratulations, you're the first.
First one. Wow. That's the first for me in all these years. But happy Easter to everyone.
Same to you.
And I wanted to tell my son that I spoke with Amanda Mijo, and she's fine. They're doing good. They were going to wait for Roxy, or they were waiting for Roxy to go up there today, but Roxy had car issues or truck issues on their way up there, so they came back home. And Amanda was looking forward to seeing AJ and Chavela, but I guess it didn't happen. But she said that they're fine. They're good. She only worked till noon today. And I went to eat over at Carlos's. We went over there, and it was good. I mean, I doubt I'll be going back because it's so far out there, but it was good. It was worth the trip out there. And everybody's gone. Thea Gracie was headed out there, I think, too, after I left, because she texted, is Carlos open today? And I told her it was. And I also spoke with Kathy, and she's doing good. She always sends a hug. And she'll be off, what is it, tomorrow? Saturday and Sunday. She'll be off 2 days in a row. Okay? We went to the service. Jorge helped, and I just went to the service at 7. But call me tomorrow, puppy. I love you, and I miss you. And I enjoyed enjoyed the visit and seeing you, papacito. Okay? You take care. My saludos to all the guys, to Big Lou, to William Spear, Jeff, Rudy, Juan, Eric, Blaine, Roderick, Moises, Moy, and who am I missing? Missing somebody, Mark. But if I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm not a young chicken. I forget. Okay? But you know that you're always in our thoughts and in our prayers, okay? Take care, and happy Easter. Good night, Dani.
Good night. Have a great weekend.
Oh, I know who I'm missing. I'm missing that young man that just arrived there, Victor Godinez, I think is his name.
Oh, okay.
Missing him. Okay? Okay. I've given the family this number, but I don't know if they've called yet, but I have given the family the number so they can call, and I told her how it works. Okay?
That's great. Thank you.
We spread the love.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. All right. Now let's get down to Maria on line 4. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Hello? Hey, Maria, are you there? I do not think that she is there on line 4. So how about we go to Anjanette? Hi, Anjanette.
Hey, Dani. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I wanted to give a shout out to my love, Big Will, at the Polensky unit. Hi, my love. Good morning. I love you. You know, babe, as we watched the Passion of Christ together on the Pando app provided by Worthy People, thank you so much, Cody and Julia. I pray that we watch this. I mean, any of you guys that are watching, anyone on the Pando app, not only do we watch it with open eyes, but with open hearts. And my love, may we never, ever, ever forget, baby, what God did for you. All the denials, all hope was lost. That heart, Veda, that heartbreaking goodbye. And I'm trying not to be emotional right now. Only for God, our King, to say, I'm not done with you yet. On October 26th, 2023, pigs flew over Texas, my love. And now, baby, not that you didn't before, you truly do live your life with intent. You're intentional, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so blessed to walk in Christ with you. I'm so very appreciative of what you do for me and for Mecules. We both love you very, very much. I can't wait to be in your presence so that I can shower all my love on you, and you shower all your love on me, and we bask in the love of our Heavenly Father. I love you so very much. You are so charismatic, my love. You literally put smiles on people's faces, and I love who you are, and I love who you ain't. I'm in love with you, Will. And baby, I just love you. I love you so very much. God bless you. He has blessed you, and he will continue to. I love you. I pray for you, my love. I pray for all you guys. Just continue to pray, my love. Think about me and dream about me. I'm always with you, and I will never leave. Beta, I love you. So shout out to the guys. Blaine, I pray all is well. I'm sending you a big Easter egg with Sour Patch candies, because first I'm sour, then I'm sweet. And shout out to Mayo. Happy Easter, Moy. Happy Easter, Bethel. Thank you so much. Mark, happy Easter to my international super spy, Woody, Eric, Debo, and a very, very special shout out to the Fat Black crew on the Polensky unit. Much love and big, big hugs from Big Will and I. And you guys take care. You already know what it is. Hug life, his life. Happy Easter to everyone at the prison show. Oh, really quick. Hold on a second. Want to say hello? Hi, I love you, Will. that was Wednesday. Well, you guys have a good night. Definitely take care. Happy Easter to you all. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, Dani, Linda.
You
David,
too.
Stephanie. You guys take care.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now Deborah on line 5.
This is Deborah and MJ. We are calling to tell Adrian how much we love him, and we are watching The Passion of Christ with him. And we also want to do a shout-out to Shane and Brent and tell them we are praying for them. And we love you, Adrian, and we miss you.
I love you, A, and we miss you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it? I guess so. I guess that's it. All right. Captain Tom.
No, this is Captain Tom doing my shout-outs for Friday, March the 29th. I just want to point out that this is Good Friday, and also it's Vietnam Veterans Day, so I want to give a shout-out to all my fellow Vietnam veterans. And you can still donate to KPFT by going to kpft.org or call 713-526-5738. Or you can text the word GIVE to 713-526-5738. Or you can be a sustainer. You know, give $5, $10, $20 a month. But, sustainer fee is very important. All right, I want to do my shout-outs here. This is shout-out go to Arkansas, Gigi. Let's see. All right, Arkansas Juju, John Armstrong, David Keys, J.B. Anderson, Clarence Lee Bowman, Pete Sod, George Johnson, John R. Green, David Young, Terrence Carmichael, Mike Dean, John Wayne, Robert Brown, Terry Lee Lewis, Samuel V. Harris, Robert Harris, Jacob Harold, Peter Torres, Thomas Mitchell, Bob Dunn, also Roger Jackson, Bobby Barbara, Charles McKay, Bobby Joe Harper. And you can, once again, call 713-526-5738 and text the word, like I said, text the word GIVE. And also,
all right, let's go to, thank you, Captain Tom. Let's go to Jackie.
Hello?
Hi, Jackie.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Hey.
Hi, this message is for Rodney Reed at the Plensky unit. Hey, Rodney, it's Kiki. I'm just calling in to say hi, let you know I'm thinking of you and missing you, and, of course, always praying for you. I hope you are doing well. Me and the babies are doing okay. I'm sorry that I cannot be there for you as I need to be. I've been battling 3 eye conditions and trying to focus on my health lately, but always know that I love you with all my heart, and I'm out here waiting for you. I miss you, and I love you, Rodney. I think of you every single day and miss you so much, more than you know. Talk to you soon. I love you, Rodney, and happy Easter. And I have somebody else who wants to give you a shout-out. Chris?
Yeah, my name is Chris Walker. I'm going to give a shout-out to Rodney Reed. Dude, you got to get out. We can't wait. I'd like to have a barbecue with you one of these days. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night, and happy Easter to everybody who's out there listening.
All right. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
All right. Eva Marie. Eva Marie.
Hello, this is Eva Maria from Germany. I would like to wish a blessed Easter to everyone on death row in Texas and in the Texas criminal justice system, and especially to my pen friend Rodolfo Medrano, but also to all his friends and other inmates, and especially to those who don't have friends or family outside bars. And I try to pray for you, especially this Easter, and I wish you all the strength that you need, and happy Easter. Eva Maria.
She's always so nice. All right. Miss Shirley on line. Okay, Carmen on line 1. Hi, Carmen.
Hi. I just wanted to say happy Easter to everybody all over the place. I wanted to do 2 shout-outs, if I may.
Go ahead.
First one is to my Uncle Jesse Galindo. He's inside his unit. Happy Easter, Unc. I miss you. I hope to see you soon. August isn't that far away. So just keep praying, and we're praying for you. Everything's going to be all right. We love you. My second shout out is to an old friend of mine, Hazelwood. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you have a great Easter. And I'm thinking about you, and we're keeping you in our prayers. That's about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go to Miss Shirley. Hi, Miss Shirley.
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Just fine. Calling to shout out to Blaine. Hey, Blaine. Love and miss you. I enjoy my phone calls with you. And I did do that text message you asked me to do. So enjoy that movie. I read something about it a while ago, and I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. But enjoy the show, and you have a happy Easter. And maybe the Easter Bunny will bring you something big. We hope. So, I will talk to you tomorrow, and I want to give a shout out to Big Wheel, Mark, Eric, Mayo, and Beto. All of y'all and everybody in the unit. I want all of y'all. I pray for all of y'all. And I want y'all to have a good night's rest and we appreciate all of y'all. So I'm going to end my call and thank y'all. Sweet dreams, Blaine.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. All right, we have some open lines, 713-526-5738. Option number 2. Don't forget option number 2. Now we have Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Polunsky. Hey boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, things are okay. I'm home. I'm with Daytona, and yep, that's it. I'm going to go up to Buddy tomorrow, and I bring him some carrots for you. Other than that, yeah, the weather here is just like still crazy. Sometimes cold, sometimes warm, raining. Yeah, all seasons in like one day. Yeah, I was in work yesterday, finished today. Yeah, other than that, everything's good. I'm going to write you an email later on. And yeah, so please know that you're in my heart, thoughts, and prayers. And thank you for sharing your life with me. So good night, sweet dreams, and please stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And I know she said that they're having some crazy weather. But according to I think it's AccuWeather, Texas is supposed to be hit by a lot of hurricanes this summer. They changed that prediction. So I was like, oh, great.
Glad I live on a hill.
Yeah. All right. Now we have Mr. Mike Lewis, and we also have a new person for him to put on his shout-out list. I think Linda is going to contact him about that. However, I do have text messages from Mike. 'Cause it's not hard to find because they're all in caps. Every single text message from him. So he's yelling.
Would he wish you a good Friday and all that stuff?
When he wants me to watch the board.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Linda's talking to us.
Yeah.
Her mic's not even on.
Well,
you gotta turn your mic on, Linda. What'd you say? Your mic's on now.
Oh, I was saying I'm gonna kind
contact Mike.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, I
Could you hear?
yeah,
I cranked your mic all the way up, but I don't know. She says she's going to contact Mike. But Mike's on point, and it kind of flatters me because he sends me, I got an Easter card from him. I got one for Good Friday. I mean, he's just, how many people still send out greeting cards? And
it's an actual hard copy?
A hard copy of a card. Yeah, I get like a Good Friday card. I didn't even know they made a Good Friday card.
Yeah, we make them. Catholics make them.
Easter cards. I mean, he just, every holiday I get a card from him. And
you should feel flattered because I just get yelled at on text messages.
With text messages.
Happy Good Friday, Dani.
He wants to make sure you can hear him from Spring Branch.
Clearly. So y'all want to hear Mike's shout out to everyone? Let's do it.
He might yell at you.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his prison show shout-outs. Here's the shout-outs to Guys of Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Jovan, Oz, Matt, Thomas, Haas. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Edward Ruiz, Adam Wilkerson. Shout out for Bill R. Sims. Special shout out for Clarence Lee Bowman. And a shout out for, and that's about it. And hope everybody has a happy Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and happy Easter. And now back to the prison show. You can contact Mysterious Mike through David Collingsworth. Adios.
Adios. And do you know what the prison show's mailing address is? Well, I'm fixing to tell you. Fickin' to tell you. It is the prison show in care of David Collingsworth, 226 Chipmunk Trail. And that is Shepherd, America, 77371. I gave your address earlier to someone, David, and when I automatically said Shepherd, America, and he went, what? What? What?
I think it's funny because you're not the only one that says that, though.
No, I'm not. I know. That's where I got it from.
That's God's country.
Okay. All right, now we have Miss Stacy.
This is to my husband's 40 Black at Wainwright unit. Hey, baby love. This is Beloved. How's this Good Friday for you, babe? I trust we got our whispers all up in each other's ears. It's been a nice 65 degrees sunny day here. The girls are behaving and they've been taken care of. I'm getting ready to place on their most recent post I got yesterday. I got the bike ride in as well. Oh, babe, the eclipse day is April the 8th. Yeah, be alert. But it's just been a pace windy day here. Yeah, it's always windy in April. Flying kites kind of day. Yeah, sweetheart. I'm just out here all yours. Stay focused and tough. Be strong knowing you got me. Oh, and Mom's invited me to lunch at the new restaurant in town. I declined. I had to work on the post. But she went and called and told me I didn't miss nothing. Yeah, pinches, baby, yeah. I told her we got to give them a break. Hope they improve. Boo, did you get my e-note I sent yesterday? I trust so. Yeah, I sent you one yesterday. Baby, take care. I love you so deeply. Yours eternal, boo. Take care, baby.
All right. Now, I'm going to do a few quick shout-outs. Roderick Harris. Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Got that squared away, or we're getting organized to the end goal. So, Brett, Michael Ferguson, T. It was great seeing you, T. Big Head Blaine. It was great seeing you too, Blaine. Mayo. I'm going to answer that. Just give me tomorrow. Leroy. Larry. J. Van Story. Toot. That's some good stuff. I think that's how it's I have it written down here. So, Toot Toot, apparently you say, that's some good stuff, or great stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Leo Willis over at the WIN unit. Joe Don, of course, Big Daddy Chucky at the WIN unit. Can't forget you. Heard some jokes about you. Ha ha. Heard quite a few things about you, Chucky. All right. And I think, Linda, did you? No? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was trying to get Charlie to sing some more songs for us. I think Charlie's going to play a little bit for us. Unless you got something you want to talk about.
Well, I think that people, there was an article. I wanted to mention that there was an article that I posted up on the Prison Show's Facebook page. I also copied and pasted it to quite a few people on death row and in a few other units. And it went through at Polunsky, went through at a few other units. But one unit said that they couldn't let that article that was, I think it was on the Texas Tribune, they couldn't let it go through because it instructs somebody how to commit murder.
Wow.
I was like, okay. So they declined it, but it went through on all the other units.
What article was it?
It was in reference to a gentleman on Texas death row named Richard Tabler. So, but it did go through on, I usually copy and paste articles that have something to do with anything on death row or anything like that. Like Randall Mays getting his sentence commuted. I sent that over to numerous people, and that went through. And also another quick note, one of our friends, he calls him, got a letter from our Attorney General, Kim Paxton.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if it was personalized from him, but
oh, well.
Yeah.
Was it about child support?
It was, yes, that he owed. Now, keep in mind, this man had been in prison for 26 years.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he got a letter stating that he was over $100,000 in arrears for child support.
Yeah, I've known several guys that. So they passed a law a few years back that whenever you get incarcerated, you're supposed to let them know you're incarcerated so they can stop that. But I've known men that have been down for years and years and years, and it just accumulates and just keeps on going up. And every now and then they'd get a letter, and I mean, Texas don't pay them. It's not like they can get anything.
Well, and also I was picking with them. I was like, clearly, they thought you stepped out of prison, became a doctor, maybe an attorney, an engineer, something. Because come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, and according to several people, they can garnish their wages. And
yeah, you have to go back to court, and you have to get an attorney, and you're gonna have to. Some people go back to jail because they can't pay it. They don't even try it. They can't even try and pay it. I mean, you got to imagine somebody get out of prison and the first job they're going to get is minimum wage. I mean, how you going to pay that?
Especially when you're still stuck on a monitor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's it blew my mind that this man over there with his, burner cell phone, his office Because, you know.
He's got an Obama phone.
Hey now. yeah, he does.
Isn't that what they call him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Kim Paxton had. He had a burner cell phone a minute ago. But of course he was doing everything, you know.
So I wrote Ken Paxton.
You did?
Not necessarily Ken Paxton, but his office. So, you know, Humble's still got the red light cameras.
Absolutely, they do.
And it's illegal. But in 2022, my company made me pay $79 for one of those red light tickets. And their reasoning was that we do business in Humble. We want to keep them on our good side. And as long as they have those cameras, don't run a red light. And if you run a red light, then you need to pay for it. And I told them it's illegal. I mean, they can't enforce it. And they said, well, they evidently did because they sent us the letter. So now Ken Paxton has a thing out that says if there's anybody who's still doing the red light cameras, you notify us and file a complaint. And so that's what I did.
Well, they knew about it because I had a stack of those little, because I lived in that area for years. So, and his office said, just ignore them. And I'm very good at that. I ignore.
That's what Ken Paxton said?
Well, his office did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was illegal for them to.
Yeah, they passed a law that says it's illegal, but they still send it out. And they say the reason they send it out is because they have a contract with that company. That company's going to fulfill their contract. Well, you can tell them not to send the letter out.
Yeah.
And you already paid them. So what it boils down to is they're making quite a bit of money, and they're going to keep the contract because, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Somewhere I read that only 1/3 of the people that get those tickets pay them. But if you get 1/3 of 5,000 tickets a month times $79, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. And
So
yours was mine was over 100.
Huh.
I don't know.
Is that because you didn't pay it and you didn't pay it and you didn't pay it?
Maybe. And didn't pay it and didn't pay it. I'm like, foop, toss.
Yeah. The last one, that was 2022 of $79. So, but I knew I did it this time. I mean, I didn't like run the red light on purpose, but it was yellow whenever I went across, and then right before I went under it, I saw that it went to red, and I thought, now I'm going to get one of them stupid letters.
Yep. Maybe they'll give you a refund. Maybe Ken Paxton will write you a check.
I doubt it. So let's get back to Charlie.
Yeah.
So you have a song that I really enjoy, and the title of it reminds me. Do you know who Grace Potter is? Mm-hmm. And she wrote a song. She sang a song called "Timekeeper," and you have one that's called "Time Is Too Slow."
All right.
You got to get up close to your mic, though.
Born in 65, living in a swamp. No one really cared. Mama was just 16 years old, and Daddy was a long way from there. Well, we got by outside of town, doing what we had to survive. Day Mama cleaned the rich man's house, and night she just like away and cried. Well, there ain't no work down in South Louisiana, except out there on the rigs. Brother told me he could find us jobs, but we fell out, he never did. So I made a little business keeping all of my friends, staying up, rocking all night. Got a little money, started spinning around town. Next thing you know, I was here in my out since the day that I got here. They put a little link underneath my skin, and they told me now I got nothing to fear. Living alone with a piece of a lunch tray, 5 down just right. If the day comes and I get the call, well, here's to your place. Oh, time don't slow. Time don't Born in 65 in a Louisiana swamp, and no one really cared. Mama was just 16 years old, and Daddy was a long way from bed. Time don't slow. Time don't slow.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool. Love the song.
Well, thank you.
So what do you got a song you've been working on lately? Can you share it, or is it like letting the cat out of the bag?
Well, I started that one I played into the break that I played half of. That's the one I'm working on right now, which I was a bad idea to play. I don't know why I did that. I have a single. This is the one that came out last week. Play that one. Well, it wouldn't be the first time everything changed. Seemed so strange. Hospitals, hotels, new towns, new names. And we could go forever, never get it right. Howling through the night. Secrets to keep, nights with no sleep, tossing over words we can't say, with nothing left to try, and no place left to hide. Don't wanna go, but I know I can't stay. Letter on the counter, unopened, unread. Knew what it said. Is it all in your head? Names in the sidewalk stop me in my tracks. Concrete epitaph. One more step, you can go back. Secrets to keep, nights with no sleep, tossing over words we can't say, with nothing left to try, and no place left to hide. Don't wanna go, but I know I can't stay. Won't be the first time everything changed.
All right. That was awesome. You're like, well, thank you. Thank you. So occasionally on the show, we have people who write in tips for anyone coming out. And a few minutes ago, I mentioned something about someone having issues with the Attorney General's office for child support. Well, here's something else to think about. Someone wrote in to one of the Facebook groups who are advocates, and he's saying that he is having difficulty finding a place to live with no renter's history. He has a great credit score, great career, but he's having to live with his mother. He's been home for 10 months, and after 3 decades of being just a number, and he still feels like a number. He said that he does not know where to turn. Does anyone know someone who can help me? After 3 months of searching, I have been turned down 7 times and almost scammed once. So that is something else that people coming out have to look at. There's so many things that, anyone coming out have, where to live, a job. There's just so many things that you have to look at. David knows.
Yeah, I went through that. And whenever I first got out and I was looking for an apartment, I was staying at a halfway house. And I got a job. I was able to work. And a lot of times I was working for myself, but I ended up getting a job and making pretty good money. But I was still living at the halfway house because I couldn't rent an apartment. I went down to the apartment complex and they said, well, it's been so long, let's just fill out the application, it'll be okay. Well, Texas Apartment Association said, they just didn't say hell no, they just said hell no. I mean, they didn't care how many years it was either. I mean, it was, and there was an apartment company that would try and help you out, and it was called Gorilla Apartments or something like that, but they wanted such an outrageous fee, and it was, to me, it was a scam. But some people just have no choice because they don't have any place to go. So it's kind of like drive time when you go down to buy a car and you end up paying $400 every 2 weeks because you need something to drive, and it's just ridiculous how much money people will charge you and take advantage of you. And but believe it or not, I got on Craigslist and I went through looking for garage apartments that were by individual owners. And then I was honest with them. And I told them, said, look, I have a great job, but I just got out of prison. I'm still on parole. This is what I'm going through. I can have my people vouch for me. I can give you a letter of recommendation, whatever you need. I'll give you my parole officer's phone number. And I lived in 3 different garage apartments, and those people are still my friends today. Because they realized I was not the same person I was whenever I went to prison. And they gave me a chance, and I fulfilled that. And that's an important part, too, because if somebody gives you a chance and then you let them down, that's what gives us all bad reputations.
Absolutely. And another thing, the laws, like Mary Sue Molnar keeps mentioning, laws change all the time. And some people cannot live in certain places, usually with a felony. Apartments just, they're like, absolutely not.
That's why you need to find an individual.
Right.
Dewey had a place, and I know I've got the phone number for the guy that Dewey used to rent off of, and he's got like 3 houses right there together, and he rents out a room. Like in the big house, he'll have 2 or 3 people rent the house. I guess that's similar to what Miss Linda does. But Dewey had his own apartment on top of a garage, and it was so many feet away from everything. It fulfilled everything he needed to fulfill, and whenever he registered, his landlord knew that he had to register and all that stuff. I mean, you got to be honest with everybody.
Oh yeah, you have to be honest.
So there are places they're hard to find, but your best chance is to do an individual.
Yeah, I may reply on that one. There's so many things that you have to look at now.
Yeah.
I mean, even.
But you got to be honest, because otherwise you end up out on the street. You spend all your money and get in a place, and then they boot you out.
And they will boot you out.
Yeah, I mean business.
Yeah. It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Well, sometimes it gets personal,
yeah.
but
yeah.
especially if you got no other place to go and they got all your stuff.
Yeah. And I do know that several people will, they'll let their girlfriend or their friend rent the apartment, and then they, that's never a good idea.
Yeah. No, I went through that before too, and then the apartment complex find out, and then they end up, you get booted out. You try and sneak. I'd try and sneak in after dark. Where's she gonna stay? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck. I mean, there's so many obstacles that people coming out have to look at, and that's just one of them. And again, like Mary Sue Molnar says, laws change all the time. You have to keep up with that kind of stuff because ignorance is no excuse.
Yeah, that's true. I think we have a caller.
We do. We have Freddie.
Alfredo. You got him?
Go. Hey, Freddie.
Hey.
You are on the air. Go ahead.
All right. Let me shout out my boy James Dudley over there at PAC Unit, and Terry Green, all you guys. Also, man, life is good. God is good. Keep your head up. Keep moving forward. And always make the right decisions, man. David always says, think twice, make the right decision. So how's everybody doing over there?
We're doing good. How about you? Did you start working?
I'm just about ready to start working gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's great.
Gate guard, yeah. I'm doing nothing.
And do nothing? That's a lot of work. You got to make sure who comes in and out. If the wrong person comes in, that's your job.
Yeah, you just got to mark them in. Mark them in and mark them out.
Yeah, at least it's not physical labor.
Yeah, well, I can't do that no more.
Well, yeah, I got 9 years left to do it, and I don't know, it's tough. This last week I've been working my tail off, and after the last year of physical, I don't know, the motorcycle accident and then falling and fracturing my wrist and all that stuff. I don't know, man. It's taking its toll. I hate to admit I'm getting old. I'm still a young man, but
well, likewise, myself too. But the body don't say the same though.
yeah. But I'm trying. I'm doing things a little bit different. Where I used to use so many hand tools, now I'm using more drills.
Yeah.
They got those new 20-volt batteries, and they're a little bit heavier, but they last so much longer, and they got a lot of strength to them. So I went out and did that. But
they were Milwaukee's or what?
No, they're DeWalt's. But they're real powerful batteries, and where you used to have to charge a battery every day, you only have to charge it about every 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, but it costs a couple $100, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it whenever I don't have to use a ratchet or nut driver or screwdriver or whatever.
I just went and bought about 4 pins. You ready?
For what?
Just to mark the people that go in and come out.
Ink pens?
Yeah, that's all I want to need.
Man, I got a bunch of Planet Fitness ink pens I donated to KPFT. They're sitting around here. I'd be writing in purple all day.
All right, man.
Man, it's good to hear from you. You tell Mrs. Alfredo that we love her.
Okay, I'll tell her, man. I'm trying to save up for my bike, man, so we can go riding.
Yeah, I rode up here tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to go without my bike, so.
Yeah, I got to give me one. All right, man.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, and one other quick thing. You may have seen it.
The arrest?
Yeah, at the Ellis.
But that's not just the first arrest. There's been several arrests lately.
There have been. Over at the Ellis unit on the 16th, 2 visitors went in, and they have a picture of her with her little dog.
I wonder what happened to the dog. That's what I thought of whenever I looked at it.
I know. Yeah, he's in the pound. But, it's not. Now, she's in jail. The person she was going to visit, and her friend that drove wasn't even going in to visit. She just drove the vehicle there. And now...
Yeah, but whenever they searched the vehicle, there was...
there was more.
There was more inside.
There was more inside. It's just really sad putting everyone, the risk is just not worth it.
It's not worth it. Well, yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, they can't.
You got to talk into a microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, I was just saying, I did a wedding there this past week, and they were telling me that they've had like multiple overdoses due to drugs. It's really bad right now.
Yeah, it is. Ellis, I have some friends over at Ellis, and it is just, it's horrible. It's horrible everywhere.
Yeah, whenever I was on the bird unit, you could see when the visitors come in, and you could see where they park at. And I seen my mother came to visit me, and as soon as they were in the building, they went out and searched under her car with the mirrors and all that stuff, and then they searched through the garbage can right there beside where she parked her car at. And I mean, they're on point trying to bust everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it needs. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether it's right or it's wrong. It's a pain in our butts, but at the same time, they got to stop it. I mean.
Yeah, and people need to stop doing it.
Well, it puts everybody at risk. That's the same thing we were talking about earlier. When one bad apple screws it up for everybody, and I mean it's just terrible. And,
absolutely.
And I know that everybody at TDC doesn't do right. I'm talking about the guard side of thing. But if they clamp down on everybody, and that's what they're showing in the news, we've had guards that have been arrested. We've got families that are being arrested, inmates getting in trouble for stuff. I mean,
they're putting more on their sentences. I mean,
y'all. Yeah, I'll tell you like I tell my kids: if you can accept the responsibility when you get caught, then go by all means go do whatever you want to do. But stop and think about it. Take Freddie's advice and make the next right decision.
Absolutely.
We don't at the prison show. We don't want to see anybody get in worse trouble. Nobody should be doing time. Nobody should be locked up like. I don't even lock my dog up anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, it's been a great show, hasn't it?
Yeah, but we still got like 5 minutes before
5 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's enough time for Charlie to sing another song.
Oh, absolutely. He can.
We don't have him in the studio for nothing. He's got to earn his keep somehow. I mean, he's making the same pay. You're making the same pay we're all making, so I mean...
Yeah. Big paychecks.
I don't know. Do I need to request it, or you got one?
What is there something you want to hear?
No, but I want you to go out with the prison radio show.
All right, I'll do the.
In 4 minutes, I got a little thing I want to say, but then after that, you can start playing prison radio show, and then we'll fade out at the end of the show with you playing.
Perfect.
So you need a 4-minute song.
And you have to get up.
You already walked down my old street. Where goes stay inside and try to beat the heat. The doors are closed, we know secrets they keep. Oh, you already walked down my old street. You already walked down my old street. You are a gig at Green Hall, driving all night from Wichita Falls. Most numbers don't get answered, I come when you call. Oh, you are a gig at Green Hall. You are a gig at Green Hall. Well, pain's the price of pleasure when we get together, I know. My calluses are thick, won't you cut me off a kiss before you go? fix. If I'm high or I'm low, well, I want you in the mix. They say that you're my problem, no problem feeling this. Oh, you are a real good fix. You are a real good fix. But pain's the price of pleasure when we get together, I know. My calluses are thick, won't you cut me off a kiss before you go? You are my first night free. After that year, things all caught up with me. There's trouble ahead, at least I'm lying in this bed. Oh, you are my first night free. You are my first night free. But pain's the price of pleasure when we get together, I know. My calluses are thick, won't you cut me off a kiss before you go?
Well, that was pretty cool, and that's close enough to 10:57 for my blood. Stephanie was telling me that the iPad ran out of memory right in the middle of everything. So we're a few minutes shy on the video as far as storing it goes after it plays. I'm not sure if we're still on Facebook Live right now. I don't think we are, but
It stopped at 1:52.
yeah. So it stopped, but
we're still on the radio.
We're still on the radio, yeah, and it'll still be on. We have a podcast now, which is pretty cool. So I got a letter from Will, and Will's telling me that they have antenna pod, but that Securus filters whatever gets put on it. So I don't know if Moises is listening. I've left him several emails. I'll call him later on this week, I guess, but I also got a message a little while ago from the other fella I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. And he's got a meeting this week. So maybe this week is the culmination, and hopefully we'll hear something good about getting on the tablets. We're trying to get on the tablets. I think that my next move, if this week doesn't go very good, is we start a petition. Let's show everybody how much we want, that we're wanted on there. And we get a good petition going on and get everybody signing a petition, and then we can present that. Because they're telling me that what the problem is that they have a hold on any new material. Yeah, so if you've never been on the tablets before, you can't get on there. But there's so many different apps and stuff, I don't see how there's not any new material, because if I was on Houston Indie Media or whatever, or NPR or something like that, and NPR has their own app, they're the ones that decide what gets put on the tablets or not. But anyway, Cnvrge Radio is coming up. You guys listen to Cnvrge. It's techno, in-house type stuff. It's a great show. But we're going to go out with Charlie. And he's got some regrets, but he's not. He doesn't have the band tonight.
Y'all have a great weekend.
On Thursday, April the 11th from 6 until 10 p.m., art car lovers can get a sneak peek of this year's mobile masterpieces at the Art Car Sneak Peek at Discovery Green. This free family-friendly event in downtown Houston features live music, art activities for the kids, food and drinks, and the opportunity to interact with 100-plus art cars and meet the art car artists. It's one of the first public opportunities to